If you're sick and tired of where you're at in life, or maybe you feel really stuck and just want to change, then you've come to the right place because I was exactly in that position a year ago. A year ago, I was in a job that I hated and I was severely burnt out. I had fallen off track with working out completely and just gained a whole bunch of weight. I was eating like crap. I also had really bad acne that I had for years. I was in a relationship that I was not happy in, and I was in and out of therapy because my anxiety was getting out of control. Fast forward a year to today, I started my own YouTube channel and I quit my job. I moved from Malaysia to Australia to pursue content creation and entrepreneurship. I work out 4 times a week. I eat clean most of the time. I cleared up my acne. And overall, I'm just in a much healthier space emotionally, mentally, physically. After going through that journey myself, I learned that it is absolutely possible for anyone, including you watching this, to completely turn your life around in just 1 year. So if you're sitting there completely unhappy with your life and want to turn things around, then I 100% guarantee that you can make it happen if you want to. In this video, I'll be sharing everything that I did step by step in order to make that transition. And my hope is that these tips can help you too on your journey. Before we get into the more practical tips, I did want to share 3 mindset shifts that really helped me to make that transition. Number 1, no one is coming to save you. You are the only person who has complete responsibility over your life, not your parents, not your partners, not your best friends. So if you're not going to be the hero of your own story, then no one else is. Number 2, if you are in a position right now that you absolutely hate, you need to realize that it's because of all the decisions that you made up to this point. So for me, I ended up in a job that I hated because I just blindly went into banking. I blindly just chased the path of more prestige and more money because that was what I thought you were supposed to do. And not once did I stop to think, what else could I be doing with my life? And what other options do I have to really make it the way that I want it to be? And I know hearing that it's all your fault feels really shitty, but it's actually a really good thing because it means that you can reverse this, meaning that starting today, you can start making active choices and decisions that's going to get you closer to the life that you want. You might think that a year is a really long time, but to be honest, that time is going to pass by anyway, and you can choose to either do nothing in that 1 year and be in the exact same position as you are now, or you can start making those changes so that a year from now, at least you'll have a year's worth of progress and effort to show for. So moving on to the practical tips, the first thing that I would recommend that you do is just to sit down and really have a think about what the ideal version of you looks like. The version of you that you want to be a year from now. And for this exercise, I would highly recommend physically writing this down because research has shown that people who write down their goals are 42% more likely to achieve them than those who don't. And the benefit of writing things down is that you can get clarity on what you want. So it forces you to really think through and identify specifics of what it is that you want to achieve. And number 2, it holds you accountable to those goals. So some prompts to help you get started. Number 1, what does he or she look like? What do they do every day? What are they working as? Where are they living? And the whole point of this exercise is to identify the differences between where you're at now and where you want to be in a year's time. This is going to help you clearly identify the areas of your life that needs changing. When I was making this list for myself a year ago, I wrote down things like ideal Tika is way more in shape than she is now. She eats clean. She exercises regularly. She is a content creator and working on her own business. She is no longer working a job that she hates. She's living in a different country and she's focusing on herself and not being tied down by relationship baggage. And this initial list can be as long as you want it to be, but by the end of it, you should identify just 2 or 3 things that are the most important to you and just put a star next to it. Because if you have too many goals and you try to pursue all of them, then your efforts are going to be so diluted that you're not really going to have much progress in each of those different goals. So what I would recommend is just to prioritize 2 or 3 and then just go full force with them. So now that you've mapped out the ideal version of yourself, the second step is to create a game plan. And again, I would highly recommend you to physically write this down. These are basically all the steps that you are going to take in order to get you from where you are now to your ideal self a year from now. And the point here is to be realistic, is to be detailed, and to be specific. Be super granular with it because the more detailed and the more specific and the more realistic it is, the more likely likely you are to actually follow through with the plan. It's also really good for each step to say when exactly you're going to achieve it by. So just to use me as an example, when I wanted to get into fitness, I told myself, okay, in January, I'm going to research all the different gyms that are near me that are within my budget. I'll do that by the end of the first week of January. And then I told myself that by the middle of January, I would have secured a personal trainer to help me get started on my fitness journey. And that by the end of January, I would already be going to the gym consistently 3 times a week. With eating clean, I told myself that I wanted to start meal prepping, and I specifically chose every Tuesdays and every Fridays during lunchtime for me to basically go grocery shopping and do my meal prep. When it came to quitting my job and moving to Australia and working on that visa, I basically created a very detailed and specific timeline of all the requirements and all the things that I needed to get done and by when. So I wrote things down like, this is how much Aussie dollars that I want to save by when I'm going to renew my passport, when I'm going to have my birth cert translated, and exactly which service I'm going to hire to do it, when I'm going to do the medical checkups and get my biometrics taken, and specifically stated by which month or by which date, in fact, I would get all of these little tasks done by. And so with this particular goal, I was super granular about it because I was on a really tight timeline. I set a deadline for myself that by the end of March, I would have quit my job, and by then I would have had my visa for Australia approved as well so that I could go anytime after that. The third and final step is just to stick to the plan and just do the thing. There's a Chris Williamson tweet that I'm going to read out to you guys because I think it perfectly summarizes everything that I need to say for this next point. Okay, so this is what he says. Here is a list of things that are not doing the thing. Preparing to do the thing isn't doing the thing. Scheduling time to do the thing isn't doing the thing. Making a to-do list for the thing isn't doing the thing. Telling people you're going to do the thing isn't doing the thing. Messaging friends who may or may not be doing the thing isn't doing the thing. Writing a banger tweet about how you're going to do the thing isn't doing the thing. Hating on yourself for not doing the thing isn't doing the thing. Hating on other people who have done the thing isn't doing the thing. Fantasizing about all the adoration you'll receive once you do the thing isn't doing the thing. Reading about how to do the thing isn't doing the thing. Reading about how other people did the thing isn't doing the thing. The only thing that is doing the thing is doing the thing. And one of the things you guys might be wondering is, how do you stay motivated during this year-long transformation? And my answer to that is, you cannot rely on motivation, and you shouldn't. You should rely on your discipline. Those workouts that you do when you really don't feel like it, or those days where you really are not in the mood to film or edit a YouTube video, those are the days that count the most. Before I end this video, I just want to share one last important point, and that is to not be afraid to invest in yourself. And what I mean by that is pouring money, time, and resources into bettering yourself, because investing in yourself will give you the biggest ROI in your life. I am a huge proponent of spending money on things that are going to accelerate my progress towards my goals, within limit, of course, because I don't have limitless amounts of money, and I am very careful and picky with what I choose to invest in. So with fitness, I hired a PT, and after 6 months with YouTube, that was when I bought a course, and that helped to systemize my entire process to then allow me to be more efficient and allowed me to create content consistently even with a full-time job. And with general self-improvement, I never hesitate to buy books or audiobooks to learn new things and to better myself. One platform that I've been using for several months now is Shortform, and what they do is produce really high quality guides and summaries for nonfiction books. The guides are super detailed, so you get key points of the book at a very deep level, and you can choose from hundreds and hundreds of topics such as entrepreneurship, relationships, communication, business, money and finance, and way more. So I've personally used Shortform to remember key points from books that I've already read, because when I'm making YouTube videos, it's especially helpful when I want to reference specific ideas from a book. They've also introduced this incredibly helpful tool called Shortform AI, which instantly generates high quality summaries of blogs, articles, emails, and even YouTube videos at a click of a button. If you join through my link, which is shortform.com/Tika, then you can get a free trial of unlimited access and 20% off your annual subscription. I've put my link in the description below for easier access. I do get a bit of a kickback if you use my link, but of course there's no pressure. I'll love you if you do, and I'll love you equally as much even if you don't. Back to the video. So that's everything that I did step by step that really helped me to turn my life around in 1 year. To be honest, I think I'll definitely be doing this exercise again for this 1 year that I'll be in Australia. By the way, if you're new here and you want to follow along on my journey of quitting my 9 to 5 and pursuing a life on my own terms, then do subscribe to the channel. And lastly, do let me know in the comments below below if you have any personal goals that you want to work towards this next year. Okay guys, as always, take care and see you in the next video.